pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, into that, minutes for the last meeting, any questions or comments on those?
I don't have any, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
That's the remaining person. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign.
Just a point of clarification too, Danny Smith is online with us. So
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
So, Danny, do you have anything? I'm assuming
It's very quiet.
not.
Okay.
All right, then minutes are approved. Get this signed here. So the next thing is the recreation impact fee study proposal.
So there, you want to pull it up. So the RIF comes up every 5 years. It's something we've done the past 2 years. It's a way we're trying to save up for our trail. We want to continue to do that. And so we have to have a study done and follow a 6-month window where we promote that we passed the RIF, and so we don't want to have any missing gaps in the RIF. So it's around $30,000. So the company we used to use, it actually was bought out by V3. He is still working there. He's got a ton of knowledge, and at least for this round, I would like to stick with V3. We may look elsewhere the next 5 years, but as of right now, I'd like to stick with V3. So we also would use the impact fee funds to pay for it. So it's kind of self-sustaining.
So it should pay for itself, basically.
Yeah, and then there'll be like some committees and stuff that we'll put together for this that I'll ask that you guys be on. And, yeah, we'll move forward just like we did 5 years ago. I can't believe it's been 5 years.
Okay, any comments, questions? All right. Accept the motion to accept the,
Yeah, with impact fee dollars.
with using impact fee dollars. Yes, let's make sure that is in the proposal. Is it a motion to that effect? Sure. All right, second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Listening to make sure Danny's not opposing me. All right, that is approved. And I guess there's a signature needed on that too, so. What's next on the list? I have to close my screen here. That's just one signature, it's right there. Okay.
Thank you.
Next is rates and fees.
Yeah, Nate Phipps here is with us, fitness and facilities manager. He had some suggestions for 2026, some rate changes, and so he put together some documents. And Nate, if you want to step up to the podium, he thinks we're kind of undervaluing some of our facilities, and he would like to raise some of the fees. So I said, you know what, it's a good time for you to come to the park board and figure out if that's a possibility or not.
So just to go over just the current pricing, what I want to adjust, change in 2026 is the train station and lighthouse. Those are two facilities that I run with other multitude of shelters, gyms, and other facilities as well. Currently, right now, the train station for residents is $200 for the day. That's at the hours of 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So 17 total hours they get for $200 to our residents. Non-resident, $250 for that same time frame, 6 to 11, they get for the train station. I'm proposing to increase those for different reasons. One, maintenance and cleaning and just supplies in general have gone up, and so I would like to compensate that. Plus, that building was built in the early 90s. We did put some love into it. We need to do more to improve that. I will say train station is probably our busiest facility. We sell out every weekend, so it is a very hot item, hot facility for us. I propose to raise it. My rates would be resident 350, and non-resident go up to 400. So quite a bit of raise. The last time this was raised, I've been here for 15 years. It went from 100 to 200. I want to say maybe about a decade ago.
2021.
2021. Yeah, he has all that. So it just comes to the fact that every hour I'm trying to raise it to, it's like $12 an hour to rent this facility. And it's just not efficient in my book compared to other facilities. For example, if you guys have an impact there, for example, Browning and Brownsburg, we're roughly around $50 to $60 an hour. Beasley's Orchard, they had their hayloft, they're looking at $400 for the day. The Bundy Lodge, which is in Brownsburg, which is in Arbuckle Park, so very similar to ours, $40 to $50 an hour. Right now, we're at 12. I'm just trying to raise those costs for obviously other reasons, but to get to a standard that we hold to get up to that level.
So when somebody rents that, typically how many hours are they actually in there?
Great question. So they have, again, 6 to 11 access. I will say, obviously, they do not use all 17 hours all the time.
Right.
We are not, I don't have stats or fact, I don't know exactly answer to that, but I would say probably 8 to 10 of that is probably what they utilize. Our 6 to 11 came from the fact that dusk to dawn.
Right.
So we
Right, the
utilize
park hours. That's park hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's the percentage of residents versus non-residents?
it varies. With the train station, I'd say it's more resident than non-resident because of the low cost that we currently have right now, and the fact that it's more built into the town of Danville for the train station. So we definitely get a little bit more resident to non-residents on that aspect. I'd say 75 to 25.
They also know our system, so it's like they know that we book out really far. So the local residents know that if they want to book, they have to get in there early.
Yeah, they can book out a year in advance, and we every weekend we are booked. We are booked since I took over about 3 years ago. We can say this.
Is the sales tax included in the amounts of the 350 and the 400?
The sales tax would be on top of the 350.
Okay, so it's a,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
more say plus instead of with, because we were.
Right, yeah. that
Oh,
is-
yeah. I see that.
And I'm assuming the comparison prices that you've got there are also before sales tax, is that correct? Would it make sense for weekends to have an hourly rate? I mean, would it be, so like we could rent it to two different people, one person maybe for the afternoon, one person for the evening? Would it pay for itself, or would that just be additional administration that would probably be immense?
So having double rentals on a day with our resources would not be sufficient for us. No. Yeah, would we sell out on that? Absolutely. People would like that, yes, but
It's the turnover factor.
we can't clean it. We
You
can't maintain
can't
it.
turn it over.
Yeah, okay, no, that's what I was asking, so good, thank you for that.
Staff wise.
Any other questions?
And that's just the train station, so I can go over Blight House as well.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of thinking differently between the train station and Blanton House, so you might want to.
Yeah, and you guys can table it too. You don't have to make a decision right now. We're just trying to get it in front of you.
No, I
Try to give you the facts, and then you can shoot us questions after that. So, because it's a 2026 thing, so I mean we still got
Danny,
3
Do
months.
you have any comments or questions on the train station at this point? Because I know the only thing that I would want to make sure of is that we are charging residents less than what our local comparison is, which is the 400. So I think-
Yes, so what that comes out to, the 350 for 17 hours comes out to roughly a little over $20 an hour. So we're still under the normal rate for the county, 100%.
Any thoughts on that?
I'd just like to see a little bit more space between the 350th. That's.
Yeah.
So what kind of space are you thinking? Bumping the 400 or
Yeah.
lowering the 350?
I mean, that would be the natural thing to do, because maybe a 450, you know, because in other words, residents, if you're gonna have a residential rate, I would think there would be a specific rate, not just a $50 rate.
And for the number of hours, we're considerably below everybody except for Beasley. So what would you think, to bump the non-resident to 450 maybe, and give us $100 difference? You think that would work?
Might
You
need to
think
be on
that
the
would
other side.
affect our,
Would you guys do me a favor? Would you guys mind speaking into the mic whenever?
Yeah, we just need
yeah,
Just
need to make
Peter's
sure
mic
that
needs to
even
be
the
on.
sides have.
Yeah, I know.
We'll put yours on the other side.
Yeah.
Madison's gonna do it. It makes it easier because your natural talking motion is towards the middle.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, talk to the room.
I said that I was interested in seeing more space between the resident and the non-resident, because to have a resident rate, they ought to have a break of, you know, $100 or more, or, you know. And so my thought was that you would take the non-resident rate up to 450, as opposed to, because then you'd have a $100 difference for residents. And that seems to be still within reasonableness, but, you know, you're the one who's surveyed the marketplace.
Sure.
Does that strike you as not reasonable?
No, I mean, and the only reason why you see the 350 and 400 is kind of basing off of what we did in the past, 200, 250. So
Right, right.
that's where that comes from, to be simple with you on that. Bumping up to 450 would still be in the price range for non-resident, absolutely. And non-resident meaning if you don't have a Danville address on our website,
Exactly.
on our, as a member, do not get, you have to have the 450 rate.
That makes a lot of sense.
Danny, any thoughts? Just want to make sure we keep you included since you're on a.
It's very quiet, but so far, I mean, I think that the rate change makes sense to me from what I was able to hear and what I was able to look at the documents as well.
So are you good with a 450 for the train station for non-residents?
Yeah, from what I was hearing, that sounds like it puts us on par with kind of what other, you know, similar are in the other towns and things.
Okay, what I would say is let's go ahead and approve the rate change for the train station and then let's talk about when it's. Okay, so somebody want to make that motion?
Move together.
Probably do them separate.
Let's do them separate because if we want to take Black Woods and say.
I make a motion that the new train station residence is 350 and the non-resident is 450.
Okay, we'll second that. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I wanted to include one other thing in there. I just tell you that I'm at the train station on Thursday evenings particularly, and
Right.
the acoustics in that room are really, it's very loud. And probably we ought to think about some acoustical, you know, we've talked to somebody about it, but because we're putting this rate increase through, we probably want to put some kind of money into the acoustical to make sure that it's a room where everyone can gather and enjoy everybody else's company without noise. Like there are a lot of people with hearing aids who right, they just wouldn't be
We
able
want
to.
to, then maybe if we just look, because that'd be separate anyway. So can we
Yeah,
look into that as a potential project for,
Yeah, we've looked at some options there. One is carpeting, which could be dangerous. But another one, we talked about panels. We need to upgrade the fixtures in there as well, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to look at maybe panels on both sides of the peak. The peak is the problem.
right?
It really is designed poorly.
Does not work well.
Yeah, because it just reverbs every different way in there.
Yeah, you can do hangings in there
Yeah.
across the parallel section.
Almost need to make it flat
Right,
across to
right.
be able to have it
Yeah,
not
I know
echo
like
too
at the
much.
field house, they have cloth hangings. that go
Yeah.
there that cut some of that down. So yeah, let's just have that as part of any refurbishment for the, so that sounds good. All right, let's move on to talk about Blanton House.
Blanton House, all right, fun time. All right, so Blanton House, wedding and event venue that I run as well. I'm just gonna go over what we currently have right now. So bear with me, there's six different items. So we have a regular season, which is April through October, and then we have an off season, which is through November and March, which is our colder season. Blanton House is regularly used during the regular season, so that's the price you'll see there at our wedding package. For $3,000, you get 16 hours at the house. We usually divide it up into 2 days. 16 hours in 1 day is not efficient for that. So that's usually a Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, rarely on the weekdays. It happens, but it's rare. Weekends, Friday and Sunday, we also have a rate of $250 per hour, minimum of 8 hours. And what that is if you're a non-wedding, for example, I have receptions, family get-togethers, I have family reunions. During our peak season, we're going to charge a minimum of $2,000. That's what it comes out to, $2,000 for the weekend if you want to utilize that. The weekday, Monday through Thursday, the least used is $50 an hour for 4 hours. I maybe have sold 2 or 3 of those in a couple of years. Off season, so we're getting into the wintertime. Pricing goes down. This is very normal for the industry and for the weddings. So a wedding package in November to March goes to $600 for the same 16 hours, 2 days you use for that. Weekends, Friday and Sunday, $50 an hour, minimum of 4. Again, I use that one a lot in the off season because these are family get-togethers. We have family reunions, we have parties, holiday parties. Usually during this time, November, December, we're very busy during that time. And then Monday through Thursday, again, $50, minimum of 4. Rarely sell that. I'm proposing 2 things here, but one is different pricing, but also to simplify the process. Talking with the rates. So what I want to propose is 3 different rates instead of 6. It's very confusing for our customers, and it's hard to explain to them because every person that I sell to at the Blanton House, I talk to. So I'm just trying to simplify the process and also raise the rates on this facility as well. So this facility, since a little backstory, since I took over, going into this year, we have done very, very well. We probably all-time record highs in sales and revenue, and we are trying to honestly slow down. My staff is I have a staff of 1 at the Blanton House, and we currently lost 1, and now we have Jeff here, but we're trying to slow down a little bit because we're swamped, because there's 1 person on site that does all the work, and to expect them to do 30 weddings in a year is just almost impossible for a staff to do that. So what I'm proposing, and this comes with the pricing to comparison to other facilities, I'm looking to change some of the weather has changed as well. So changing the month, the price, and some of the other aspects. But what I would propose is the regular season wedding/event package, and I'll get to the event part. Friday and Sunday, we start in April and we go to late November. So what I've seen is I have sold a lot in November in the last couple of years because the weather is getting warmer. It's staying warmer longer, and people are wanting to be outside. We're an outdoor venue in general, and so I want to extend that at least another month into that season for the regular season. Go up to $4,000 instead of the $3,000 for the same 16 hours. Again, it's usually divided into 2 days. Also, with the regular season, we have our Monday through Thursday, same April to late November, and bumping that up to $100 an hour, minimum of 4 hours. So that's a change of $50 for that. So that's the regular season. Now, for example, I have a lot of weddings, obviously, in the regular season, but I have receptions. I have other events during that time they will be paying the $4,000 rate. Currently, they've been paying $2,000. I'm trying to simplify it to make it easy that this is our rate, whether you're a wedding, you're a reception, it's still the same amount of work that my staff has to do. Whether it's maintenance, cleaning, it's all the same. So simplify it. If you want an event during our peak season, wedding or non-wedding, $4,000 on the weekend. If you want to come during Monday through Thursday, you're more welcome for $100. I can bump that up just to that as well. The off-season, the change there is, so we're starting that rate would be in December going to March. So this is obviously the colder seasons. This is where we get a lot of birthday parties, bridal showers, baby showers, a lot of those types of events. I would be bumping that up to $100 per hour, minimum of 4. So the 4 hours haven't changed, but the rate has changed. I bumped that up to $50. Now, in the off season, as you can see, I don't have a wedding package in there because I believe the wedding package that we previously have right now is too low. $600 for 16 hours is a little. It's just not efficient enough for us. So if they want a wedding, and this is an everyday thing, this is Monday to Monday, it's $100, minimum of 4. If they wanted to do the wedding, for 8 hours, for example, we negotiate how many hours they want. We try to lead them in the right way. It's about 8 hours is usually our minimum for a wedding. You're looking at $800 instead of the $600. So the rate would go up a little bit.
$1,600 for the equivalent of the 16 hours.
Exactly. So
Still quite a discount over season.
During
Yes,
that
yes.
time, though, they also don't get the tent, tables, and chairs. That's why you see the
Right.
difference in price, which
Yeah,
is about
Yeah,
$2,500
but that's- yeah.
value.
yeah, in the off season there is no tent, and that is a big
Yeah.
one. So those are the pricing and doing comparisons with that. Obviously, the 4-H Fairgrounds, I want to say is a competitor of ours, but they're in our neighborhood. A lot of these wedding venues have pricing that might seem lower than ours currently right now, but they also have add-ons that they charge for chairs, they charge for tables, they charge for alcohol, they charge for all that. What you see right here is what we charge, period, flat fee. If they want extras, that's on them and the vendors to do that. We don't charge anything extra on top of this, minus our $50 alcohol permit to have it on town property. I'd say that's the only add-on that we technically have is $50. A lot of these other places, if you're looking at the Barns, Ashton Oak and Avon, Kennedy Estates, the Memories Barn, I mean, they're kind of popping up everywhere. And Clayton and Liston, I mean, your bare minimum of entry is $5,000 and it goes up to 10 for these facilities. So again, I come to you because these two facilities in general, I feel like are very undervalued for the work that we put into it and to the amount of cost of maintaining, cleaning, staffing, improvements. These are older buildings. They need a little bit more love for these facilities. So wanting to raise so we can keep continuing to improve those facilities as well.
Nate, talk about the future and what we're looking to do as part of this, like the future indoor facility at Bland.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, Will didn't want me to talk too long today. The future for that would be where the tent is currently at. We want an indoor facility for that. Obviously, these rates would change again for that. But that would bring us to another level for sure, because then we can rent year-round on the same cost for the most part. People always ask us about that, and I think it's the next improvement for the Bland House, minus some landscaping and internal stuff. Putting a facility out there where the pavers are at, where the tent's at, it's about 35 by 75, is what we have talked about for years, it seems like, would be the next improvement for that facility, which is going to be a hefty cost to do that.
So the amount of raise of the rate that you are proposing, does that give us any leeway to get some additional help out there?
I hope so, yes.
Okay.
We have also duplicated the services of, so we had one Now we have a second one as a backup. The hard part is with whoever you talk to as your lead out at Blanton House, you are relying on that person. So if it switches to someone else, it becomes problematic. So we're trying to work through that right now and figure out, okay, how do we have one person as the leader, but somehow communicate to each one? So
I mean, hotels do that all the
yeah,
time.
so we're trying to
so-
figure out how to do that on, not a lot of money.
Yeah,
And I'm just I'm burning my staff of one.
Yeah.
yeah,
out
we
on
don't
this.
want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why we're looking, if we raise this, does that help us with staff? Because that seems like that's the most important thing, this,
Staff would be a part of the,
And taking care of the house too. I mean, the house that no one lives in dies, right? It's dying all the time.
so
So
somebody's
we
gotta be
need
in
to
there
do a couple of
constantly. Yeah.
improvements here pretty soon. Some siding stuff and some more gutters to get all those things kind of cleared up, so.
Comments?
The only comment I have is just that it turns out that your weekday rate is the same for season and off-season. And I'm wondering if, once again, you might want to do it through increasing the minimum, because that way, what I hear you saying is that people typically pay for 8 hours, and so they wouldn't even notice if you took the minimum off to 6 or 8, but it would create space, between the two, because you could get the facility in the off-season during the week for $400.
Correct.
And I see that as being the same price you're using for the facility during the regular season, during the week.
Yeah, and the reason why those rates are the same, so that is piggybacking off of the current rate right now, which is $50. So it's the same right now for that currently. But I'm bumping it up another 50. I do not sell a lot Monday through Thursday in the regular season. That is, again, maybe 1, 2, a couple years I've been here. The $100 in the off season, we do quite a bit, not a lot of weddings in general. It's more birthday parties, pop-up events. These are smaller events. These are not the 100 to 200.
Showers.
Yeah, so that's why those numbers, I mean, I can see the change there, but we're still trying to make sure that we keep it reasonable in the off-season, because I sell more off-season than I would the $100 during the weekend of regular season.
Danny, you've done a good job on this, and you've convinced me, but you've also convinced me that I don't think you've raised the wedding package enough. I mean, I'm looking at the comparisons, I'm looking at the fact that you're sold out, and that, I don't know why, my first reaction is I would take it to $5,000.
Oh, and I appreciate that. The reason why I didn't bump it up to that amount, I appreciate that, Dave, is that our facility is a little bit more hands-on. So when you look at these other facilities and their rates, they have staff as in people, there all the time. They have alcohol, they have all these different levels. For us, when I sell a wedding at the Blanton House, it's on the wedding party to produce literally everything. You have to move your mom, grandma, aunt, uncle, you have to,
Tables,
there's a little bit
chairs.
more legwork.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to price them out in a way. I just wanted to, I believe 5,000 would be great, but I wanted to go in between that. So there's a little bit more legwork.
Okay, thank you.
And we can always make adjustments too, like another meeting and we decide it doesn't work, we can adjust back. We did that 4 or 5 years ago. 5 years ago, we made a decision and we made the rates really complicated, and we started dialing back the last time, I think it was 2022, when we went back to this rate structure. And then, we have more dedicated staff to the areas now. So I think, kind of relying on what Nate is saying in his research is, because he's the one that, when they're saying $400 for the train station, they're yelling at Nate. Then Nate.
I'm fine.
Move to Danville. You get $100
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Bonus spot.
Any other comments, questions?
My only other comment is Nate, that I think you probably have it, but in your next time you do a proposal, have the occupancy, have a statistic that tells us exactly how much you are renting it. And then for the next rate change,
which it sounds like it's all gonna be, we can then compare again how we, what the occupancy rate was, 2024 versus the 2024 and 2025 versus the new rate in 2026, just to see what impact.
Sure.
I'll have that in the year end too.
Yeah, I mean, just off the top of my head, from 24 to 25, we've increased, I lost a staff because of it, and then 2026, which we're selling right now currently, we're on pace to get about 20 right now, because we're slowing down. We're telling people no, so we're trying to slow down a little.
We're trying to focus a little bit more on quality.
Rather than number.
Yeah,
of
so,
seats.
and with that too is figuring out what the staff can do in that month, right?
And if
making
we
one-
add more staff, we can go back to the
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Days.
We're just taking one weekend off a month so that there is a breather in it, so that they can have a life.
Is it okay for people to have lives?
We're losing them if we don't.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, we gotta. All right, any other questions, comments? Danny, you got anything? If not, take a motion to do something with what's been proposed.
I'll make a motion to accept Nate's proposal as it's been presented here.
Okay, second. All right. We have a proposal to accept the Blanton House as presented by Nate. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, thank you very much, Nate, for
Thank you,
this.
guys.
This
Thank
is
you.
exactly what we need for stuff like this. Appreciate it. All right, bond meeting.
Okay, so I'd like to just kind of start out, and I gave you kind of like the capital improvement request, which is pretty much our priority projects list, arranged a little bit differently, as some things we can't afford all the way. So in there, I just wanted to see if you guys had any questions to anything on there.
Yeah, when I looked through it, it looked pretty much like what we talked about on the priority project list anyway. I didn't
Yeah,
see
it's
anything that
A
was-
lot of fixing the things that are breaking. And then also some, with the playscape and the trail are those things, those top priority projects that we've had is pushing forward to get those things started, get them moving.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments on that list? That all is covered by what we're looking for in the next item.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and invite Adam Sturwald up, Barnesville
Okay.
Thornburg,
Yep.
bond counsel, and just kind of, he's gonna kind of walk you through, the layout of the request for the bond.
Sure.
Yes, Adam Searle, bond counsel for the town, Barnes and Thornburg. Thanks for having me here tonight and that introduction well. Before we jump into the declaratory resolution, did you guys get a copy of the timetable? If not, I have some extra copies.
Yeah, we've got it right here.
Okay, so this just lays out all the action items from now through the closing of the bonds. So tonight we would have a declaratory resolution from the park board. Then if that is adopted, a notice, public hearing, and a confirmatory and bond resolution by the park board, followed by an ordinance from the town council approving the bond issue. Then we would go into selling, marketing, and then closing on the bonds. So today is just the first day. It is not the final day. You'll note that we have a proposed special meeting on Wednesday, November 5th. The order of the events, we need a meeting prior to the next town council meeting. So that would be the kind of first thing we would ask if that works with your schedule to have a meeting on Wednesday, November 5th at 5:30 p.m.
So, Danny, do you have any conflicts with that? We didn't hear anything from Mike, so I don't know.
Say the date again.
November 5th,
I'm good with that.
November
Yeah, I'm
5th.
fine. I will sacrifice being at the beginning of the Pacer game for this. That's how important I think
Yes.
this is.
Danny, that was November 5th.
At 5:30.
Very Peter?
I believe so. Although I was gonna ask on council, as retired partner, Martin Thurber, should I be recusing myself at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and the reason I asked that now was because I didn't know if you wanted me at the meeting. Yeah, the 5th works for me.
Okay, yes.
So
So,
at least that's quorum.
We've got a quorum, so let's go ahead and get a motion on that. To schedule a special meeting.
Yep.
Peter is nodding and so moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, we will schedule that meeting. I guess that's gonna go out to the
Yeah, I'll
usual
send it all out.
channels to let the public know about that meeting.
And we'll notice a public hearing, so thank you very much for that. So today's action is the declaratory resolution. So this finds that the project listed in Exhibit A is necessary for public health and welfare and a benefit to the public utility. Will can give you a much better description than I can of what all's in Exhibit A. I'll let him do that, but it also provides the estimated cost of not to exceed 4.2 million. That also includes not only your projects, but all your soft costs of either design, cost of issuance related to the bond, and everything all together, not to exceed 4.2 million.
That's what we went over in the one before you.
Just-
I was double checking. I was good before we moved into the bond.
So it's always good to double check what you're gonna pay for. So
Yes.
That's not a problem. I'm happy to answer any questions, walk through the process, or how any of this will work.
Gonna take a look at the timetable later, Joe, because I can copy over here. Let's see. I think I know what we're doing.
Yeah, so possibly early November and then closing maybe December.
Yeah, once we're through the approval procedures, that'll be after the town council meeting. Here it is, the placement agent will likely distribute a term sheet, start marketing the bonds, award before Thanksgiving, and then close early December.
Yeah.
So on this timetable, you will receive the money on Wednesday, December 10th.
Good there. All right, any other questions or comments on that?
No.
Take action.
Yes.
Accept a motion to approve the declaratory resolution.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I just want to sign. Where I put that? Here it is.
You're signing that one for me?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll pass it down.
Man, you're on it.
There's your signature on the secretary line. Okay, let us talk about draining the lake.
Okay, so Eric's got the drainage plan up here. So one of our goals of the Bland House, even working with Navy, we've been working on this together, is how to fix Lake Blanton out front. We've tried to do it probably 4 times since I've worked here, and every time we've ran into a snag. So this time I was like, I'm just gonna go out and have some professional help on how to do it. So went through, and you guys of course approved J2 to help us kind of guide us through this process. So they came up with some plans. We like the plans. It looks like fairly low cost. We had in our budget, I think $25,000 for work on the house this year. And so we had to pay for the study. And I think that leaves us just about enough to actually do the project. So we're waiting to hear back from one of our local contractors to see where we are pricing wise, but I believe we can do it. But I just wanted to kind of give you an update that we went out, we got the survey, we got the layout of what we're gonna do. It's actually pretty simple. No one will really see any difference except for we are gonna have to remove the landscaping in front of the driveway to the left of it, the first entrance, because we have to reshape the drainage ditch in the front.
Right.
But we're going to be putting back 2 landscaping things, one on each side after. So it'll look better than when we started. Most of the stuff will be underground, but we're also going to fix the drainage that runs along, Washington Street. Right now it's kind of undercutting. And so I told Barry, I was like, hey, I'll fix this while I'm at it. So we're going to retake the ditch line towards the creek. So it should be pretty awesome when it's done.
I just had one question, and it's a big future if, and the answer is probably heck if I know. If we manage at some point to be able to get a trail down there on Washington Street, how much do we think this area would either be affected by or prevent that?
All the grading of the yard would change if we put it in, because we'd have to grade it back, and then there'd be like the road, the trail, and then drainage in between them.
So we would end up kind of redoing
Yeah.
all this if that happened? Or
Yeah, there's no real way with how it's laid out now to kind of fix that without having to
fix that back completely?
lots of dirt.
So we would lose all of this
Yeah.
if that trail were to go.
But it's fairly inexpensive. I mean, a lot of it's actually just yard drain items. It's more of just spreading out that water, giving it more time to seep underground.
Right, that's usually the way they work anyways.
Yeah, I still gotta let the neighbor know, because the neighbor, every time we try to mess with that landscaping, they get mad at us. So I'm gonna let them know, hey, I'm gonna have to tear it out for a little bit, but then I'll put it back and it'll be better than ever.
Any other questions, comments on that? Okay, yeah, thanks for getting that done. Okay, old business.
Oh, so we've had a lot since the last meeting. So we had two concerts, which went really well. We're already in the stages for planning the next ones, which we're pretty excited about. We had really good crowds this year too, all around. I feel like they went really well. Camp out, we had a camp out. I think we had 30 some people. Daddy-daughter, we had 78 couples sign up. I think only like 73 showed up. And I lost my place. Half marathon was good. And we started the euchre league all in there. So Jimmy just announced to us, I think last week, that he's got some like macrame coming up, ornament classes, wreath classes. And I want to say there was something else in there, but he's working on all of the programs for next year right now. So they're starting to populate inside Rec Desk as we speak. So a lot of stuff going on there. That's all I got.
Excellent. Questions or comments? If none, Dak. I noticed there's nothing in here about the bathroom.
we actually finished. We had a leak outside. I don't know if you've seen the alley. They put in a new drain. One of the ceiling or one of the roof gutters was leaking into the room, and so it messed up some of our new stuff. So we got it all fixed up, and it's beautiful in there now. Getting a lot of accolades on it. We need to do probably a video like we talked about too. It's done now. It's completely done now. We're good to go.
There we go.
All the signage is in there and everything. Smells like cinnamon in there. Trying to think what else. Oh, access control. Working on the second access control quote. We've also been looking at some different software. We're really trying to get our software to do a lot more for us. So we're kind of looking at some different options and trying to push them to think more forward. Which I never thought I'd be pushing them. Usually it's the other way around, but we won a lot, and I think it'll help us a bunch too.
Okay, great. Questions or comments on Dak? If not, pool.
Yeah, pretty much. I think we summed up the pool last time. We finished all the items. I'm still working on. We do have those Board of Health things that we talked about before. So I got the computers updated. The UV unit is like $30,000. I tried to find some workarounds, but I don't know. I think we probably need to buy the good one that we know is going to function. So I'll probably be coming back to you guys and just double checking before we kind of move forward on some of that. I'll probably have to take it to the council as well. I want to move on it now so that I'm not stuck on their timeline next year where they're, trying to throw everything into everybody's pool. I want to be done by the time we get there so we can focus on opening. Yeah, that's pretty much it with the pool. And we should get our chemicals for next year tomorrow. So we do an early buy program and we get a big discount if we buy this year, and then they bill us January 1. So we have money.
That works. Questions, comments on the pool? If none, trails.
So really a little bit of a standstill. We're waiting for final GPS coordinates off the new parking lot. Barry has like 1 or 2 things that he needs to finish. Then when he gets them, the coordinates, we can kind of complete that first section of the trail. Then hopefully if the bond goes through, we can start working on the beginning of the trail.
Let's get that going.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting.
Make it pretty.
A lot of work.
Okay. Questions or comments on that? Nope. Thanks, Will, for that. That's always my favorite project.
Thank you guys.
That's the one I want. Okay, financials.
Really, we're just kind of in that hanging on time. Budgets are getting towards the end, and besides, the only spending you really see is a little bit of maintenance, a couple of these projects coming up, and then the Blanton House, of course, if that comes in at a good price, we'll see that in there. Trying to think what else. And I'll be wrapping up some projects that are town-wide projects. We're hoping to do we're going to do some dumpster covers. We're going to replace that water line from the pickleball courts over. And then if it works out, we should be putting in that parking lot at the start of the parking lot next week. So I'm hoping everything works out. So that's the parking by Playscape. We approved it last year, but then we ran out of time for asphalt. And then we had baseball season and football season and then baseball season again. Now we have nothing going on besides Winterland here in a month. So we're trying to see if we can get it in that time span. Like everybody said yes, so now it's just a matter of please don't get cold or rain. And hopefully we'll have that project in and the connection of the trail on the north side too, to the restrooms. So that'd be really nice. We're going to get rid of, the North Park Bridge, the one that goes over by the amphitheater, that wooden section that's a mess. We're getting rid of that wooden section and it'll be paved, just like we did on the south side.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be really nice.
All right, any questions or comments on the financials? If not, I'll accept a motion to approve the financials.
I make a motion to approve.
And I'm happy to second it.
Yeah, I've always wondered why we didn't do that before, but I like having the
Yeah, I put that on there.
reminders there.
Thank you.
All those in favor of accepting the financials as given, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that's done. Is there any other business that we need to handle that is not currently on the list?
Just don't forget that November 5th date. I'll send out a reminder to everyone too. And then I'll also do the special meeting and send it out as
It'd
well.
be bad if we have a public meeting.
Yeah.
and everyone doesn't show up.
Hopefully we'll get everybody too. That'd be nice to have.
Yeah, that'd be good to have everybody here so people can see us, know who we are.
It should be pretty quick too. It's like probably a 5-minute meeting, so.
I hope so, that I can get to the game. All right, if there's no further business, we'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
If you're opposed, you can stay here until the council meeting, I don't care. Thank you, everybody. Good meeting today. Lots of stuff.